Laura Chase rents a unit in a fourplex house built in the 1960s, at a time when asbestos was widely used in a range of building materials.
The water damage on the ceiling had been right about there.
In the past 2 years, the residential tenancies branch ordered her landlord to make various repairs, such as replacing drywall that had water damage, fixing the bathtub faucet, and replacing windows. In 2023, the property manager sent a representative to get samples for asbestos testing. The results came back negative in drywall plaster in the bedrooms and beside the kitchen window, and negative in fiberglass insulation.
Based upon the first tests that were done, that were apparently negative, they went ahead and they started doing work.
Chase became suspicious about the test results, so she hired a testing company. One of the samples came back positive for asbestos in the drywall joint compound on the bathroom ceiling. She later got testing done for the drywall joint compound in the bedroom, and it was also positive for asbestos.
So after the windows were replaced and before the bathroom was renovated, I did the testing, and I found the results were indeed positive. And that was alarming because 3 windows had been replaced without any precautions.
Asbestos is a carcinogenic material, and if it becomes airborne and is inhaled, it can cause fatal illnesses such as mesothelioma and asbestosis. Canada has banned the use of asbestos-containing materials, but they were widely used in construction materials until about 1990. This year, British Columbia became Canada's first province to have a law that requires licensing of employers doing asbestos abatement work and certification of workers who do the job, including sampling and testing. Laura Chase says Manitoba should do the same.
Clearly, the current situation is unsafe. It was unsafe in my case, and the fact that there's so little accountability because there is no license. A person can't lose a license that they don't have in the first place. So how can there be any kind of accountability in a system like this?
The province says that's being evaluated in a review of the Workplace Safety and Health Act, with recommendations expected in early 2025. CBC News contacted the property manager for Chase's house about the asbestos test results, but a spokesperson declined to discuss the case. When Chase decided to get her own asbestos testing done rather than rely on the property managers, she contacted Winnipeg firm J&D Environmental to get the samples for testing.
What you're showing us here is actually an incredibly common issue.
Danielle Kolba is founder and president of J&D Environmental, as well as Duracan Laboratory Group. He has about 20 years' experience in asbestos work and consulting.
You get false negatives quite often on sites, and this is where you want competent people or consulting firms that actually know how to collect the sample, know where those samples should be collected from, and get you the most authentic data possible to determine if there's asbestos in it.
Kolba says it's important to make sure the sample collection for asbestos testing is always done by an independent third-party company rather than by the contractor who will be doing the renovation work. Vera Lynn Kubinek, CBC News, Winnipeg.